displacement reaction. A substitution or displacement reaction is a chemical change in which atoms of one element replace the atoms of another element from the molecules of a compound. Let us take up an example. When an iron knife is dipped in an aqueous solution of copper sulfate, a layer of reddish-brown precipitate is formed on the iron knife. The iron from the knife, being more reactive than copper, displaces it from the copper sulfate solution. The copper so separated gets collected on the surface of iron knife. Activity: take 500 milliliters beakers and add 20 milliliter water in them. Label the beakers as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Add 5 grams copper sulfate to beakers 1 and 2. 5 grams zinc sulfate to 3 and 5. And 5 gram iron sulfate to beaker 4. Now add some iron nails to beakers 2 and 5, copper turnings to beakers 3 and 4, and zinc granules to beaker 1. Then keep the beakers undisturbed for some time and observe carefully. You will observe that the color of the copper sulfate solution changes in beakers 1 and 2. On the other hand, no change is observed in beakers 3, 4 and 5. In beaker 1, zinc Zn replaces copper Cu from the copper sulfate CuSO4 solution to form zinc sulfate ZnSO4 and copper. Because of this, the blue color of copper sulfate disappears and a reddish-brown substance, that is copper, gets deposited at the bottom of the beaker. Similarly, in beaker 2, iron replaces copper from the copper sulfate solution. Hence, the color of the solution changes from blue to green and a reddish-brown substance gets deposited on the iron nail. We conclude that displacement reaction takes place between the more reactive metals to the less reactive metals of salt solution.
Okay, first let us discuss reaction with oxygen. We have already learned that metals like iron, when you keep outside with the presence of water, moisture and oxygen, it starts to produce rust. The nature of the test that can be identified now. Okay, here we have taken a magnesium ribbon. Can you see magnesium ribbon? Okay, from the magnesium ribbon, take a piece of magnesium. Okay, this is a piece of magnesium. From the magnesium ribbon, this is a magnesium ribbon. A piece of magnesium is just cut and keep it with me, and just take that magnesium, that piece of magnesium with a tongue. A tongue is a device used to hold the chemical substances. Tongue looks like a scissor. Okay. After cutting a piece of magnesium from the magnesium ribbon, just you keep it for heating. You have learned magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is a white colored ash. Okay, using this tongue, just I am going to heat magnesium. So what happens when magnesium reacts with oxygen? Magnesium is a metal, reacts with oxygen. It will produce the corresponding oxide. No, that is the theory you have learned. Now listen the practical. What is produced after heating the magnesium? Okay, you just keep it for some times. Yeah, it's burning. So wait for 2-3 minutes. You can see that after, yes, what you can observe, a white color ash which is called magnesium oxide. Okay. We can understand that oxides of metals turns red litmus to blue. So metal oxides are basic in nature. Metal oxides like magnesium oxide, iron oxide, etc. Now let's move on to the reaction of non-metals. Burning of sulfur, the same activity which is there in your textbook. Here it is given. this is a sulfur powder. Sulfur is a non-metal. Okay, you just take the sulfur powder and you just take a closed jar. After taking the closed jar, just you add the sulfur powder into the closed jar. Okay, this is the activity which is there in your textbook. So this is the arrangement you can see here. Okay, so this lid can be closed by the moment you added the sulfur into this glass jar. Okay, for the safety it is given to in order to hold the sulfur dioxide gas. Okay, so after that what you can see is just take the glass jar. Okay, after that you just close the lids before the gases loses out. So what is our aim is to collect the sulfur dioxide gas. We need to know the property of sulfur dioxide, right? Yes, take a pinch of sulfur dioxide and added the sulfur dioxide into the glass jar. Okay, this is a spatula. Spatula is used to collect the sulfur metal or any chemicals. So after that what you have to do is, yes, make sulfur dioxide by burning. Okay, burning sulfur in the presence of oxygen, you will get sulfur dioxide. Yes, sulfur plus oxygen will give sulfur dioxide. So after the sulfur dioxide is produced, so you have to test the presence of sulfur dioxide. Yes, just heat the sulfur. When you heat the sulfur, you can see it produces sulfur dioxide. A gas is produced. A gas is produced. A gas is slowly producing now. After, you can see that, yes, when you observe, you can see a gas is coming out. Sulfur dioxide gas is coming out. Okay, just keep it for some more time. Okay, yes, when the gases comes, yes, you close the lid and collect the sulfur dioxide gas. Collect the sulfur dioxide. Here you can see inside sulfur dioxide gas is formed. Okay, so after that, you know that sulfur dioxide is a non-metal oxide. We need to know it is acidic or basic, right? Yes, for that we have to test the presence of this gas with the help of litmus paper. So for that you need to make a solution. Okay, add some water and test the presence of acidity or basicity, whatever it is, by using a litmus paper. You can see that, yes, the nature of sulfur dioxide is acidic. So blue litmus paper turns to red. This reaction happens when you added water to the sulfur dioxide gas. So sulfurous acid turns blue since it is acidic in nature. Generally, oxides of non-metals acidic. Okay, when an acid react with metals, hydrogen gas is evolved. In the beginning, you have seen that a pop sound. Okay, pop sound is formed when an acid reacts with the metals. Here we can see the apparatus which is required, the materials which are required. Okay, this many items are required for the production of hydrogen gas. Okay, first an iron stand, so a test tube, here a delivery tube, a rubber cork, a blast off with soap water, a zinc metal, and a dilute hydrochloric acid. Now let us take about 10 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid in a test tube. The test tube is fixed in an iron stand. After that, into the test tube you have to add metal, zinc metal. This is a zinc metal granules. Okay. So here when you add zinc metals to the hydrochloric acid, you can see a gas is coming out. This is the hydrogen gas. Okay, this gas you have to connect it to a delivery tube, and this to connect it to the soap solution. Connected to the soap solution, you can see a bubbles are observed. Okay, so you can see the bubbles. These bubbles are formed because of the formation of hydrogen gas. This is the hydrogen gas. Okay, the presence of this hydrogen gas can be tested with the help of a burnt matchstick. This hydrogen gas is transferred through the delivery tube. Okay, hydrogen gas production is fast. You can see soap solution is there. Bubbles are being formed. Okay, after that this can be the whole hydrogen gas can be connected to the soap solution. When you keep a burning split near hydrogen, okay, you can see pop sound. Yes, the pop sound tell you that the gas which is formed is hydrogen gas. Okay, here the equation can be right. Zinc metal reacts with hydrochloric acid, zinc chloride is and hydrogen gas is formed. If you do the above experiment with other acids like sulfuric acid and nitric acid, this same reaction will be happens. Only salt is changed. The hydrogen gas is commonly produced. Okay.